So, hi everyone. I'm here with the amazing Tracy and Jess from Be Journey Strong. They are former clients of mine who worked with me, and I helped them through a whole launching process for a few months. And I just wanted to, do this testimonial and say hi to you guys, and great to see you and all that. We've already done the hellos before I hit record, so that's why this is totally awkward. Anyway, I have a few questions, and I'll let you guys say hi and talk about what it was like going through the whole launching thing, and just as a guide for other people who might be considering working with me and stuff in the future, and just what it was like, and how it's changed your business and all that kind of stuff. So first up, do you guys want to let everybody know what you do exactly so that I don't mangle it? Right?
Well, we are doctors of physical therapy and certified master neuro coaches, and we shifted from the clinical environment into the online space to help women who feel stuck in their health, stuck in that hamster wheel of the diet and the exercise and the hustle and the hard, and blending the movement science with the brain science to help them to get out of that trap and start feeling good and confident, and understand that it starts with who you really are on the inside and how you feel on the inside before that transformation on the outside that everyone wants or thinks they want.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so excuse me, where were you guys at before we started working together? Like, where was your business at? What were you struggling with? Can you remember? It's been a little while.
No, we can
Oh.
remember because
Yeah.
we feel it's just been quite a journey. And I would say, Tracy said that we're doctors of physical therapy who left our clinical practices, and we felt unsuccessful. We felt as though we were being unsuccessful in our life rhythm of being a mom, being a professional, and being healthy. And when that rhythm became just really disruptive, it, in our core, we just felt like, man, this is just not worth it. And so we saw potential in the online space, but when we leapt into it, we really didn't know what the heck we were doing. So where we were at was plodding along, taking imperfect action, and speaking from such a science high-brained space. We have the solution, and so it's been quite a journey of trying to figure out, one, who we are, like what our identity is in this online space. Like, oh, hello, we're health coaches, which we didn't leap off and get into this space saying, hey, I'm going to become a health coach. And then along the way, we got training in this neuro coaching. And it really wasn't until we got the neuro coaching certification that we go, oh, we're coaches. So you came along after we'd at least discovered that now we're health coaches and neuro coaches. But then what are we doing with that? And what kind of message do we want to help people with? And just like Tracy said, we just wanted to help women get unstuck in their health and stop feeling like healthy is hard. And so we put together a challenge and had run it and gotten some experience, but knew just from the whole, this virtual space and understanding how to market and launch and all those strategies and the tools and the tactics, not our brain space, not our sweet spot. Yeah. And so it actually was one of our neurocoaching friends who introduced us to you, because Beryl knows a little bit about being in the online space and growing. I don't even know how many businesses she has.
Yeah.
And she's very techie. And so to get a recommendation from her was like, yeah, we'll take it, because we don't know what we're doing. You know, we have a program to launch and we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we were just like, I had this epiphany today that we were just like throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping something stuck of like, all right, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this, but not actually knowing where we were going.
Yeah. And that's that can be really hard with that inconsistency with people too, that you know, you're trying this one week and trying something else the next week, and there's not that consistent messaging. And then, like, before we started, you guys didn't have any clients, did you, when we started?
No.
No, not in the coaching space.
Yeah, not in this online coaching space. Obviously, you had your other stuff going on. But
yeah.
And so when we worked together, what did? We went through and we found you some messaging. We unlocked some really cool stuff. Like, do you guys remember this? We've got to think back a little way, don't we?
I just know that you helped us with that messaging of like who we actually are and what we're speaking to, and understanding more importantly, who we're speaking to. And then being able to frame that. And like you said, like the consistency in the messaging, I think that people were like, well, yeah, you guys talk about a lot of really good stuff, but like, what do you do? That was kind of the impression that I was getting from people. And I think that now we have nailed that down, and, you know, of course it's a work in progress, but I think that we are getting that message better and speaking to the right person that you helped lead us to.
Yeah, I would say hugely clarity around who we serve and what in the heck are we doing to serve them, right? And then also just clarity again of utilizing what a business in the online space looks like and your tools for that. So getting clarity on, okay, so this is kind of the sequence. You start here, you're warming up your audience, you're speaking their language, you're nurturing them, and then you go into this next phase of offering a challenge that gives them a quick win. They get something from that, and you kind of scratch the surface of what you can offer at a different stage of the game. And the messaging all throughout just kind of leads, you know, our perfect client through to what our, you know, our launch offer is, or working with us in whatever way, shape, or form that we continue to develop. And so clarity on both of those aspects was huge for us.
Yeah. And I remember we kind of had a challenge that we had, again, thrown at the wall that we had created. And I remember telling you in the beginning about it. And it was definitely this like, are you sure that's what people want? But it was in a good way that you helped nurture us of like, no, this isn't, it wasn't even what we wanted. And it definitely wasn't what the people wanted. And in a weird roundabout way, we took that same concept of that challenge, but we framed it in this like beautiful package that actually like completely resonated with who we are and what we are trying to say. And so it was something that we kind of already had, but it was just this disastrous mess that it wasn't going to go anywhere because there was no purpose to it. And that, I think, is what you allowed us to figure out, was like, okay, well, what's the purpose of this challenge? And then we were like, oh, there needs to be like a follow-up about this program, and it actually needs to lead somewhere. And that was very helpful.
Yeah. So that's the other big thing that we did, was we set you guys up a system of, okay, so we're going to do this challenge week, and then we're going to you know, talk to people about working with us and all that kind of stuff, and it's something that you get to repeat and get better at. In fact, while we worked together, we ended up doing 2 of those launches together. We kind of did the test run launch, which is something I'm a big fan of, because I think it takes a whole bunch of the stress and the pressure off, and it allows you to have fun and just experiment. And from everyone I've worked with employing that, and including myself, we've all gotten results just by having the test run launch and all that. So in the time that we worked together, you guys actually put something together and sold something and got clients. Do you want to tell us more about that? and how you felt about that?
Yeah. Well, first, I'm really glad that we did the test run. Because we learned a lot from the test run, because we were still iffy about what we were saying. And so we learned so much from the test run that then, because I think had we not been working with you, I think we would have just called that our launch and been like, oh, well, that didn't work. Now what? But instead it was, okay, this worked, this didn't work. Let's shift, let's regroup. And then I think it really, it resonated better.
Yeah. Yeah, because your test run launch, like you did actually get clients from that. So, it wasn't like it didn't work as in 0 sales, 0 clients.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, you got a couple, and I know it wasn't the big dream. Like this is the interesting thing. It's like I help people get started, and sometimes that getting started is, let's get started with a couple of clients, and then that gives you more confidence and all that kind of stuff, and the testimonials and everything. And then we repeated it, like a month later. Yeah. We did it again, and then that got you more clients, right? Like how did that feel?
Yeah. Definitely just, the whole aspect. I mean, we're both brains that love to learn and love to become better. So this was, kind of hit in our geeky spot of like, okay, so it doesn't definitely tell us our worth and what we're doing and what we're offering, and we're just going to learn from it. And so having that test run and going into the second, challenge, it just gave us so much more confidence in being able to evaluate from the first test run of what we needed to learn from that, so that we could apply it. And like Tracy said, make some pivots, shift some stuff, but we were gaining momentum and staying in that evaluative headspace versus going judgmental and, oh crap, this isn't working. Which we had been feeling that cycle over and over. And like, hey, we got great stuff. And then we put something out, and then, it kind of fell flatter than what we thought. And so, but we just never had an end game to know where we were working towards. And that order of being able to sequence it as we move towards there, a purpose, a reason, the clarity of who we serve, and why we're serving them, like what's their problem, right? Because we got a lot of great solutions for health. So, and so getting I think getting a client or two, I can't even remember how it all goes down, but even from the test run was like, oh, okay, well, we said something right. And so then taking that into the second time around and getting more clients was really a huge boost in knowing that we were on the right path. Right. And so, and then the ability to be able to serve those people with what we put together was just so energizing. And again, we have learned so much from that first cohort that, it's just been invaluable. So, but we couldn't have gotten there. I believe that we wouldn't have gotten there with the same kind of results had we not had the opportunity to work with you and just gain so much clarity and direction on what in the world we were doing.
Yeah. And having that system of, the step-by-step versus what are we going to do today? It was giving us that roadmap to take us to the end goal. Whereas before, like the end goal, it was there, but it was this vague cloud almost, that every day it was like, okay, what am I going to do today? What am I going to do today? But having that map, it was so valuable to lay out of where we're going every day.
Awesome. And you guys are about to run your third launch now. You're repeating it again for a third time.
Yeah. So we've
How
got
are you
our,
feeling going into that? Sorry.
I think we feel, I feel really good about it. I think Jess does too, of
Yeah.
getting, and we finally, I think we have that clarity. We're building that momentum. I can tell in our community that we're speaking to people better, resonating better with what they want and what they need.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, our Facebook community is really growing. So, you know, just the interest in our upcoming challenge has added a lot of people into our group in this last 10 days. So again, an encouragement, like Tracy said, we know that we are speaking more clearly what it is that they need to hear, what's already in their brain. You know, what they think about when they wake up, what they think about before they go to bed, that whole concept that I've heard 1,000 times before, but somehow it just wasn't tangible to me at the right time for me to really implement it with good strategy. So until Tiff, you came along, and then it made sense, because like Tracy said, you created that roadmap, and we know this from our neuroscience training, that if you want something to change and you want something different, you've got to have a vision that is so crystal clear of what it looks like, what it feels like, what the end game is going to be, what are you experiencing, all those kinds of things, because that helps as the roadmap, the mind map, to make your decisions and actions. So that is one powerful thing that working with you did for us.
Yeah. Awesome. So if somebody was on the fence about working with me, what would you tell them? Like, what would you say to that person? If someone was on the fence and going, oh, I don't know. I mean, you know, you guys were there too at one point. Like, you know, hopefully you don't regret it.
I would say, because it's scary to throw down a bunch of money. And it's scary to throw down a bunch of money when you're not making any money. But at the end of the day, doing what you're still doing, it's not going to make you any more money, or, you know, it's not going to serve your purpose. You know, it's not all about the money, but we all got to make a paycheck. And just, you know, spinning in circles. It's like, okay, am I going to continue to try to like hope that something finally sticks, doing whatever it is that we're doing that we have no plan? Or am I going to actually make the choice to invest in myself, in my company, because I believe in it, and have someone map it out? Because I think this was one of our biggest realizations, was we're really good at what we do. We're not really good at what you do. And that is why there are people that do what you do, because our brain isn't wired like that, but yours is. And having that handhold, so to speak, just so valuable that it's, again, that's, you're going to spin in circles hoping for something, or take action. It's scary for sure, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, and I'd add to that exactly a second everything that Tracy said, but just Tiff, your style, like just your personality and your character, I mean, knowing that I didn't know what you knew, I always felt at ease. I always felt led and encouraged by everything that you taught us, you showed us, you helped us to think differently without I don't know, alienating us or making us feel like, gosh, you guys should have this figured out. It was very lock arms together. It was very collaborative, very thorough. I mean, follow up. You showed up every time, ready to lead, ready to teach. But we also could tell that you have fun doing what you do. You know, like we get geeked out on our stuff, and you get geeked out on your stuff, and so it was a lovely business friendship that we had a ton of fun with, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That that whole like approach of mine, I really believe in it, because I worked with a coach who every time I showed up, she was like, no, you're wrong, you're doing the wrong things, this is wrong, this is wrong. And it just like killed my confidence. And I didn't go out and make sales with her, because she didn't, kind of like, for her, she was going through the book of here's everything you're doing wrong, but she didn't have a way of getting me to feel confident. So that's why I really believe in the approach I take and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I did appreciate that, Tiff. You're just a very calm personality to work with, even on our stress days when we wanted to cry and throw the computer. You were able to work us through that, and even when you knew that we were doing the wrong thing, it wasn't there was no judgment, like Jess said. It was just like, all right, what can we do and how can we shift, and pointing us to the decision rather than just forcing and telling us.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So do you ever think about like where you guys might have been if you hadn't worked with me? Just because you guys were sort of talking about it before, I just sort of thought of this, like, where might you be now if you hadn't worked with me? Like,
I don't think we ever would have come up with what our challenge actually is. Wow. I really don't. I don't think that would have ever come to fruition. And I think that's going to be our like signature as it evolves. I think it's going to be our signature challenge to kick off everything that we do. And we would have never, it wouldn't have come about.
Yeah. Oh, that is awesome.
And we would have a ton of spaghetti all over the wall and floor by now.
Yeah. Yeah. And it might have been client here, a little bit of time, client here, little, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. We would still be sitting on our awesome, incredible 12-week coaching program.
Yeah.
No one did.
And they didn't know they needed it.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for sitting and chatting with me and giving us sort of the lowdown on all of your stuff. Like, just to be clear for anybody, like, you guys like made back not just the investment that you made in me, but you kind of also, like, from my calculations, sort of doubled it, didn't you? So yeah. So like a really good result, and I don't know, I really enjoyed working with you guys. And I remember like after we sort of stopped formally working together, even though like I'm still around and I help you guys out from time to time and stuff, just was like, oh, it's weird that I'm not seeing them this week.
Totally.
So
It sounds like family. You're like, our weekly meeting, hey, what's up, catch up on the personal stuff, dive into the business. It definitely has been a very positive relationship for us to have professionally, business wise, been blessed by, but also personally as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being a part of this, and it's been great working with you, and I look forward to seeing how your next launch goes and all that stuff. And good luck with that. And I don't know, like where can people find out more about you guys if they want to know more about what you do?
The best place to find us would be our Facebook community, which is Hardwired for Health.
Yeah.
And then our Facebook page and Instagram is Be Journey Strong.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. I'll hit the stop button. All right. Hang on. There we go.